Let's all take a moment to wish a speedy recovery to one Liv Morgan. Injuries suck. Whether they're freak accidents like this or something just goes horribly awry, in all honesty, wrestling is a tough athletic line of entertainment where the wrestlers put their bodies on the line. With every single move they make, every single breath they take, we will be watching them, and we will all be watching Liv as she recovers. Speedy recovery, Liv Morgan. You have certainly worked hard over the last decade to make sure that you are so memorable every time people watch you. I'm John Renton with my review of WWE Raw from the Rec Center in Green Bay, Wisconsin! Fuck did Mr. Kennedy do that for so goddamn long? Anyway, yeah, I'm back again with another Raw review. Tell a friend, or don't. I don't care. Thank you guys for watching. This will also be the last Raw review that I do for a little bit. For this reason, there's another mystery movie next week. I didn't really find anything particularly worth sinking my teats into. I think that's how the phrase goes. And after last week's, title change with Gunther beating Jey Uso and the world title being back where it belongs, I'm an actual wrestler. I'm sorry. I just don't really have it in me to review Raw before Night of Champions. Yeah, I may review that. And then there's a loaded weekend. I'm just going to get into this really quick. There's a loaded weekend, July 11th through the 13th. Yeah, you have SmackDown. And then there's All In. There's Great American Bash. There's Saturday Night's Main Event. There's Evolution 2, Electric Boogaloo. It's going to be a loaded weekend, guys. And I only got so much steam left in me for so much wrestling. Also, I do want to say thank you guys very much for sticking with me for so long. And no, I'm not going to end the channel. I'll do a full channel update video at some point. I'm not going to end the channel. I just want to tell you guys that if I ease back a little bit, it does not mean I'm going away. I do want to say also I will be doing some midway point, that's what I'm trying to say, mid-year movie list. That's what I'm trying to say. Best and worst horror and best and worst movies overall. So yeah, they were in the Rec Center. That holds around 9,900 people apparently. They had about 6,500. I do kind of like these smaller arenas. Kind of reminds me of the Angel of the Winds Arena. Yes, it's an actual name of a place. It's about, 14, 15 miles from me. Stephanie Vaquer, backstage. My God. I honestly, I cannot form words when she's on screen. I just can't. She is fucking captivating. Cole and Grazer on commentary. No McAfee. Maybe that's why the last 2 weeks of Raw haven't been all that bad, because no Pat McAfee screaming like crazy. In all honesty, utilize him for some events here and there. Have him dial it back a bit, because him sporadically is one thing. I mean, he's a fucking idiot, but him sporadically is fine. You might as well have Graves and Cole call Raw. I don't really think you need Graves calling NXT. I don't think you need a three-man booth for NXT. Well, you kind of do, because it's a two-man booth, because Booker's terrible. But anyway, Liv is here without her pants. Kira, normally I'd say this, but I know that you wish Liv a speedy recovery, so there you go. Honestly, that belt basically covered up what was left of her shorts. Here's Dominic. They still boo Dominic. But in all honesty, it's really just like, boo, but Dominic's won him over. I mean, and I was surprised, especially at Mania. I did know, please do not give Nikki a singles match. I don't know what they're going to do with Nikki Bella right now. Somebody suggested Roxanne Perez, and need somebody to carry Nikki in her stack of dimes neck. So she calls out Io. Liv, not Nikki's stack of dimes neck. That would be weird. And Io shows up, the crowd loves her, back and forth a bit and so on. And Liv did end up saying, you could just give it to me and, we'll be done with it. Yeah, there's a joke there, but nevertheless. So, Io tosses the title at her, hits a dropkick, and then a kick on Dominic, and there you are. So, one quick little thing I forgot to mention that happened about a week and a half ago. Julia Riley, who played Claire Lynch in TNA, she passed away. Read up on the circumstances of her death. Very, very odd, but got way too much hate, personally. It was a terrible angle, do not misunderstand me, and nobody could have made that work. She didn't deserve the hate that she got. It would have been terrible, regardless of who was casting that role. And bless her, she did her best. It's terrible that she passed away. So, then basically, Liv tries to fire up Raquel. Is there a way to, like, give Raquel a personality transplant or something? Because she's not interesting. Asuka has her old theme back, and she returned to a big pop. This is Asuka's last run. I think by Mania 43 she's done. I don't think she needs to wrestle anymore. I know she was out with an injury, but I also know there was that weird stalking thing that was going on with her. And I hope that was taken care of. Hope she has extra security. Hope she's all right. She's a human being. She's not deserved to be treated like that. No wrestler deserves to be treated like that. Same with Roxanne Perez. Her address apparently being leaked. Whoever is doing that, they need to be prosecuted at the fullest extent of the law. And apparently Liv Morgan, a stalker of hers, was at the PC recently. Just stop. Guys, girls, whatever you identify as, I don't care. Just stop with this bullshit. You can get wrapped up in wrestling if you want, but remember, these are human beings. So, Asuka, Stephanie McClure, Ivy Nile with about 2 loads of spray tan too many, and Raquel, lack of personality Gonzalez, Rodriguez, whatever the fuck her name is, Queen of the Ring, 4-way match, first round, whatever. It was a match, and I will say this, at least Raquel did like one thing to get a little bit of a reaction, like syphilis. She stopped the devil's kiss, but then she got hit with it on the apron. Bless that cameraman for doing that work. My God, what a shot of Stephanie. I'm fine. I don't have issues. And we went to 2 breaks in 10 minutes. There were a lot of breaks on this show. Now, there was one that made sense as to why they cut to it, but there were a lot of breaks on this show. A drop kick out of the Tower of Doom, 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 Doom by Asuka. Rhea then, stopped Raquel, like Raquel stopped Rhea last week. Mom, the 2 Amazonian women are fighting again. Asuka pins Raquel. Nobody is ready for Asuka, she says. Asuka versus Alexa on Friday. Good Lord. I mean, I'm not going to be watching that because I got movies to watch. I got apparently something called K-Pop Demon Hunters that some people want me to watch. Whatever. More movies. It's fine. Can't be any worse than the rule of Jenny Penn, but I'll get more into the movies with the list later. So, more Judgment Day nonsense. Oh boy, great. Please end this group. Just please end this group. Please do something. So, Gunther, he is a true world champion. He talks about how Jay was a better man one night, but he's a better man every other night. There's several jokes in there. And then he talks about how he's untouchable. And then John Cena came out in the Thuganomics here. I kid. He blows by the Bill Goldberg chant, says, Seth, you have the briefcase. I'm not hard to find. Come on down. And then the music of Bill Goldberg rings through the arena. And Bill Goldberg gradually makes his way to the ring. I know he's 58. I know he talked about that he injured himself doing this training to, have this one retirement match. I get it. We all age. Bill Goldberg should not be in the ring. Bill Goldberg looked like he was going to fall asleep talking to Gunther. Bill Goldberg needs to not wrestle past 2017. I understand you got a shit pot full of money, but good Lord. And people are like, oh man, Gunther is going to destroy Goldberg. There are connotations with an Austrian man and somebody with Goldberg's background, and my God, things haven't changed in about 85 years. So, he says you're next. Goldberg to the Austrian man. Styles then took on J.D. McDonough. J.D. McDonough headbutted him at one point, and AJ really thought he was part of the gay community. And then he has Styles Clash 1, 2, 3. This went on for a bit longer than it needed to. Of course, Michael Cole said, Styles Clash, kick out, no, 3 count, Styles wins. Good job, Michael Cole, you fucking idiot. Maxine is there. Why? I mean, I'm not saying that she doesn't deserve to get paid, but she's not a wrestler. They're going to make her and Natty a team. Why not just give Natty a fucking mannequin? I mean, it's the same thing. Maxine literally looks like a confused baby deer every time she's out there. And I know it's just backstage, but my word. Mania 42 is in Vegas again. Whatever, they're going to get a lot of money. I mean, Vegas could be in Seattle, or not Vegas. Mania could be in Seattle. I'm not going to go. I'm sorry. I'm just not going to fucking go. Like, it's not worth the price. So Bayley shows up, and my word, Bayley. She was very, very thrilled. She was very much glowing. She was very happy. She put over the fans. She talked about how she does everything for them. Becky, you basically couldn't keep me down. You just made me stronger. Kelly Clarkson came out and did a duet. And that she will kick Becky down the ladder or knock Becky down the ladder, get back up again, and nothing going to keep her down. Here's Lynch in Chicago Bears gear. Because the Bears beat the Packers recently. And the Bears have such a lineage of world championships back in 1985 when Green Bay has actually won more recently. I'm not even a big football fan, but yeah, this went quite a while. We got a brief scuffle. Bayley fisted Becky right down, and there you are. And when a very, very, very attractive woman fists you down, you are going to stay down. I will not speak any further. So, a match next week, apparently, I guess, and we're also getting Styles versus Dominic at Night of Champions. Lyra wants to do what's best for her. I assume that is probably interfere in whatever Becky and Bayley do next week, which leads to a three-way, oh my, at Evolution 2. Liv and Kyrie didn't get started because, unfortunately, Liv injured her shoulder. You watch the slow-mo. Unfortunately, she hurt her elbow in her shoulder. She dislocated her shoulder. Michael Cole said a little bit later. I hope she's going to be okay. I hope maybe it's not going to be that serious. Maybe she could work Evolution, but I doubt it. She's probably going to be out for a bit. Speedy recovery to Liv. Whether she's out a couple weeks, whether she's out a couple months, speedy recovery. So, Cena recaps of Punk on SmackDown. Okay, this is something I just want to address really quick. People are like, oh, Punk's a hypocrite because he told Miz in one tweet to go suck a blood money dick or something like that in regards to the Saudi stuff. When they did that WWE backstage, whatever the hell show was on Fox. Okay, people can say, oh, Punk's going back on his morals, this kind of stuff. He was at a protest recently. I'm not going to say that Punk is the absolute best and does not, and is like 1,000% always staying on his word. He's human just like everybody else. But if he's a hypocrite, then Cena's a hypocrite for going back when he wasn't going to go back for some of those Saudi shows. Rollins supports Palestine, but he's going there. And a whole bunch of other people are going there. So we got to make it a blanket statement or we got to make it something. Now, if Punk does what Mustafa Ali did and donates a bunch of his winnings to something, which he likely may do, then there you go. A lot of people, there are some people that actually have legit criticisms. A lot of the criticisms actually just come from the AEW diehards that are upset that he choked Jack Perry out a little bit or called Hangman empty-headed dipshit or may or may not have beat up some of the Bucks or a couple of the Bucks. Who knows? The thing is this AEW Punk discourse needs to fucking stop. There are certain accounts that I even really like that are getting a little bit too, into that, but they won't call out the bullshit from the other side. So let's maybe just understand, guys, that if Punk's a hypocrite, then so's everybody else that's going on these goddamn shows. And again, I'm a big Punk fan, but I recognize that man's got just as many flaws. He was not going to fit in AEW long term. He probably shouldn't have been brought back for Collision. It probably should have been amicable, and he probably should have just been released, but Tony feared for his life. So anyway, Cross interrupts Sammy. For what reason are they still doing this? I mean, I don't even hate carrying Cross, but they don't know what they're going to do with him. They're not going to do anything with him. His contract's up soon. Jay entrance, and then the crowd rundown, and Night of Champions. Jay, Rusev, Sheamus, and here comes Bronson. King of the Ring 4-way match, and Heyman was at ringside. All four corners with how big he is. Clubbing shit, Rusev and Sheamus face off. White noise to Reed. We went through 2 breaks. Jay broke up the pin on a tsunami. And then Steiner stopped Jay. Sammy attacked Steiner. And then Sammy got tossed over the table, which looked really brutal. And then Penta dived on Steiner. Knight stopped Reed. And then 2 splashes won it. And then Seth came down in a suit. And I've just noted, Seth, Jay is no longer the champion. What are you doing? And then Cody showed up and did that. So yeah, that was Raw. Look, if something noteworthy does happen on future installments of Raw that's worth me reviewing, maybe I'll tune in. But to be perfectly honest, sporadic Raw reviews are probably all I can do for the rest of the year. Because I'm going to close with this. I've been doing this for a number of years. I've been pretty much watching Raw live since the summer of 2016. So we're coming up on about 9 years. And especially things were kicking into gear when Chris, my best friend, aka the Durbinator, we started doing the reviews in the fall of 2016. So again, we're coming up on about 9 years of that. And he's doing well, by the way. Just want to say that. He's my best friend first, co-host second, whatever he wants to do is great. But I eventually reached a breaking point sometime last year, and I actually just finally admitted that I need to take a break. So I'm taking occasional breaks from wrestling. I'm going to do movies. I'm getting to 1 million views. And then I will reassess how many videos I'm going to do in the future. That being said, I will not quit doing YouTube. I may just take breaks here and there. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter, Letterboxd, Blue Sky handles in the description. I'm John Renthal, and until we meet again, happy trails to you.